much house can I afford? It's the question I get asked more than almost any other. And here's the thing. Most people are answering it with the wrong math. They take their income, they guess at a number, and they either scare themselves out of looking or they aim too high and get disappointed later in the process. I'm Kris Anderson, a mortgage loan officer with BOC Bank. And today, I want to walk my Wichita Falls neighbors and anyone else watching from across Texas through the actual math lenders use. Not a guess, not a rule of thumb from a magazine. The real formula, explained simply so you leave this video with a genuine sense of your range. Last week, I talked about three numbers every lender looks at: credit, income versus debt, and down payment. Today, we're going deep on that middle one because it's the piece that actually calculates your affordability number, and it's the one people misunderstand the most. Here's the mistake. People take their salary, maybe multiply it by some number they may have heard somewhere, quote, you can afford 3 times your income, and call it a day. That's not how it works. And honestly, that kind of rule of thumb can be way off in either direction depending on your situation. What actually drives your number is a ratio, not a multiple. It's called debt to income, or DTI, and it's the single biggest factor in what you qualify for. What is DTI actually? Let's break down debt to income in plain English. Your DTI compares two things: all of your monthly debt payments, car loan, minimum credit card payments, student loans, and what your new house payment would be, against your gross monthly income, meaning income before taxes. Lenders look at this ratio because it tells them how much room that you have left in your monthly budget after your existing obligations. There's a general range most loan programs want to see you fall under, and it varies by loan type. Some programs are more flexible than others, especially certain first-time buyer and government-backed programs. Here's the part people miss. This isn't just about your future house payment. Your other debts count too. So two people with the exact same income can qualify for very different house payments, purely based on what else they owe every month. This is genuinely good news for most people because it means your number isn't fixed. It's adjustable. Pay down the right debt and your affordable range can shift meaningfully. What actually makes up a house payment? Now, here's something that trips people up even more than DTI. Your mortgage payment isn't just the loan amount. It's actually 4 pieces, and people forget 3 of them. First, principal and interest. That's the actual loan repayment. Second, property taxes, and property taxes in Texas can be a meaningful piece of the payment. So this matters more here than in some other states. Third, homeowner's insurance. And fourth, if your down payment is below a certain threshold, mortgage insurance. All 4 of those together are what actually gets compared against your income for the debt to income ratio, not just the loan payment by itself. This is exactly why I don't quote a payment number without running your actual numbers. Taxes and insurance vary house to house. So how much house can I afford really means what's my full monthly number, all 4 pieces included. This is also why working with a local lender matters. I know Wichita Falls area tax rates and can build a much more realistic number for you than a generic online calculator that doesn't know local property tax rates. Budgeting beyond the mortgage payment. One more piece before we wrap up the framework. Qualifying for a payment and being comfortable with a payment aren't always the same number. A lender will tell you the maximum you qualify for based on DTI. But I always encourage clients to also ask themselves what payment lets me still save, still handle an unexpected car repair, still live the life I want outside of my house. Sometimes that number is lower than what you technically qualify for, and that's completely fine. There's no rule that says you have to buy at your max. This is really a 2-part exercise. What do you qualify for? And separately, what do you actually want your monthly number to be? Both answers matter. So in putting the formula together, Here's the simple version to walk away with. 1. Add up your current monthly debts, your car payments, your credit cards, your student loans, anything with a minimum payment. Number 2. Compare that against your gross monthly income using the DTI ratio. 3. Remember the house payment itself is 4 pieces: principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, not just the loan amount. Number 4. Then ask yourself separately what payment you'd actually be comfortable with month to month. Run through those 4 steps and you'll have a far more accurate sense of your range than any multiply your salary by X rule of thumb ever would give you. A quick word on the Wichita Falls market specifically. Median home prices have been sitting roughly in the $205,000 range recently. And like a lot of Texas markets right now, conditions have been shifting towards more balance, meaning more negotiating room for buyers than in the past years. That's useful context as you think through your own number because it gives you a realistic sense of what's actually on the market here right now. If you want your actual number, not a rule of thumb, not an online calculator, guess, but a real number based on your actual income, debts, and Wichita Falls property tax rates, that's a 15-minute conversation and it costs you nothing. Send me a message at 806-547-3733 or use the link in the description. I'm Kris Anderson with BOC Bank, NMLS number 1201276, Equal Housing Lender. Next week, we're breaking down the pre-approval process step by step. So if you're ready to actually start, I'll see you there.